Welcome, my friends, to episode 17 of the Muddy Boots Maker podcast. If you're new here, my name is Amy and I'm a knitter, sewer and a homesteader here on Dja Dja Wurrung country here in Victoria, Australia. And wow, I have a lot to share with you today. I am thoroughly excited to have cast on and finished five projects? Yes, 5 projects. Wow. One is still blocking, the other still has to have its ends put in and to be blocked, but I'm classifying them all as finished projects and I'm very, very excited. So grab your drink. I've got a robust tea here that I'm thoroughly enjoying, and grab your knitting or crocheting or whatever project you're working on at the moment, and let's get into it. So you may have already spotted the project that I'm first going to talk about is what I am wearing, and this is the Ranunculus sweater. I will stand up a bit, but I will also pop in some footage that I have taken of me wearing this. I am wearing it with this thrifted shirt that I found in the op shop. It is too big. I've rolled over the sleeves and I need to get my sewing machine, well, not get it out because clearly it's out all the time, but get onto my sewing machine and take down these the sleeve length because they are way too big. But I'm wearing my shirt and this beautiful brooch that used to be my nana's. So I'm just felt like dressing up a little bit, I don't know, a little bit Edwardian sort of style with my new Ranunculus sweater. A few things. This was so fast to knit. Oh my goodness. First of all, I have to thank you, one of my viewers who sent me this pattern. Thank you so much. I get such a thrill out of my viewers sending me gifts like that. I've had a few patterns sent my way and I'm so very grateful for your generosity, and I just couldn't wait to cast this on. It has been on my list for quite some time and it is so lovely to have cast on and off a sweater that just flies off the needles but is also thoroughly enjoyable to wear and knit. I have made one mistake on this sweater, and this is kind of technically why I like to knit 2 sleeves at the one time doing magic loop, but I did these all separately. In fact, I've been on Sleeve Island. I've been knitting 6 sleeves. I've knitted 6 sleeves in the past 2 weeks, and I'm so very excited to have finished them. But I just made a boo-boo on this. I've done the right thing here. This is the correct ending to this sleeve in the correct needle. So I went down a size for this needle, but I forgot to go down a size for this one, and it just gapes a little bit more and I'm not very happy with it. Of course, I'm going to undo it and redo it, and I've got plenty of yarn left to do so. The yarn that I used for this sweater was this Bendigo Woollen Mills wool that I found in the back room. So the back room has all this yarn that isn't on their website, and sometimes you find a gem like this. And I used not even a whole ball of this yarn. So this is what I've got left over, and I'm going to undo this and redo it again and all will be well. But at the moment I've been wearing it. I wore it yesterday, and I wore it last week when I'd finished it. It has blocked out beautifully. I did put it on when I just finished the body, and it was really tight. It was really hugging my body. But then when it blocked, it just bloomed out beautifully, and it's now like this relaxed, very comfortable sweater to wear. So you will see some footage of me wearing it with a different outfit, and you can see the whole entire thing better there. I've managed to take quite a bit of footage separately to this of my knitted items this week, so that's lovely. So yeah, I'm looking forward to casting on another of the Ranunculus sweater in the future. But this is my first finished object, and I am so very pleased. So very, very pleased. My second project is this beanie. So I cast this on quite a long while ago. It is just a self-drafted pattern, so I basically cast on a certain amount of stitches. I don't know if I haven't even put notes down because it was so long ago that I cast this on. So yeah, I've just done a rib, 1 by 1 rib, and then I've just done knit in the round, and then I've decreased. So yeah, it's just a simple pattern. I started at the decreases, so if I put the rib down, the rib is quite long. So I think my original plan was that I was just going to do a full rib beanie. But then I got sick and tired of doing the rib, so I started doing the knit, and then I started decreasing, and yeah, then I stopped. I started the decreasing and stopped, so I only had about this much to go. You could excuse my really ugly band-aid today. I cut myself this morning, so I'm not going to be taking the band-aid off in case I bleed over my beautiful knitted items. Anyway, I only had the smallest amount to do. But I will pop some footage in of me wearing this beanie, and it's quite slouchy indeed, but thoroughly nice and warm. I've knitted this in Bendigo Woollen Mills Rustic Alpaca Wool Mix. It's an 8 ply, so DK. Yeah, there's not really much else to say about this other than it's finished and it's very slouchy and a bit funny, and I haven't blocked it out at all. I just put it on and liked how it fitted and put it in my drawer, and I've got another beanie for the cold winter that we're having already. We're having a cold autumn, and it's nice and sunny today, but there's been a lot of rain, a lot of rain. Yeah, but it's been sunny here and there, which is great. It's okay when it rains and then the next day is sunny and then it might rain again. It's just good to break up that dark weather that we've been having. Okay, so that is the beanie. What else? I used 3.75mm needles to knit this beanie. So it's quite a dense fabric. The stitches are very close together, so no cold breeze is going to get through this fabric. It's going to keep my head very, very warm. And I can imagine that my kids might steal this and wear this as well. Oh, my next project I absolutely love. I thoroughly enjoyed knitting this, and it is just so pretty. You're not going to be able to see the whole entire, you're going to be able to see the whole entire thing, hopefully. It is the Shift Cowl by Andrea Mowry, and there's the bottom there. It's just so very lovely. Look at those colours going through it. So lovely. I used 2 balls to knit this cowl. We're going to call it a cowl, the Shift Cowl. So I used Bendigo Woollen Mills Bloom yarn. I used colourway 65, Twilight Sky, and colourway 9, Bright Blue. So I just used 2 yarns for this. So when the pattern asked for colour A and B, I would use A and B. And then when it was A and C, I'd use A for A and B for C. So yeah, I explained that in my last episode, but it was fairly easy to do. There were some parts where it would have been nice to have done the opposite, but it turned out fine anyway. I don't think, like, I just sort of felt that way when I was knitting it, but in the end it's turned out quite beautifully, and I'm kind of keen to cast on another one and use the 3 colours, but I'm just using what's in my stash at the moment. Well, I'm trying to, but I did purchase some yarn recently and I will show you later. But yes, this is just so beautiful. I again will put in some footage of me wearing it. Oh, it is just so lovely, and it comes all the way up. Because I've knitted this in a DK weight yarn, it's just stiffer, and it comes all the way up to my face and is really nice and warm. So I'm thoroughly going to enjoy wearing this winter. And even I've worn it one day, but I'm kind of trying to be a bit precious about not wearing things until I've shown it here, because even this sweater, the Ranunculus, I've seen some pilling happening, and it was just, you know, it's okay because I've taken some footage of me wearing it, so I've inserted that instead of showing you my pilled underarms. Anyway, okay, my friends, I'm so excited about my next finished project, and so sad that I couldn't wear it today because it is still wet, and it's because yesterday was so cloudy and rainy. I couldn't like get it dry. It's just it's getting to that point of the year where it's so very difficult to dry things, and this is such a woolly wool that it's going to take some time. So this pattern is the Birkin sweater, and this is my second Birkin sweater that I have knitted. I'm going to show you the yarn. So I knitted it in the Mowry Woolen British Breeds yarn. And I forgot to say up front. There's always one thing that I forget to say up front. But all the information is down below, but you can also click over to go over to my Ravelry store, Ravelry page rather. And I have just recently updated all my recent projects, and I've got as much information there as I could offer that I remembered. That, yeah, so all of the colors that I've used for this are over there, except for the blue. I couldn't find the blue tag, so I'm gonna get that blue colorway. I'm gonna find it and I will put it on there eventually, but it is currently not up on my Ravelry page. So here it is. Are you ready? The colors in this, oh my, oh my, oh, it is so beautiful, and it smells amazing. The sheepiness Excuse my dogs out there barking at the birds. I hope they're not digging in my vegetable garden. They're a bit running around having some fun. Look at that. Look at that. It is just so beautiful. Oh, I cannot wait to wear this. It is so wet. I can't even like put it on to show you. But I will try. I will hopefully insert some footage of me wearing it. I will, yeah, I will endeavour to put this on once it's dry before I edit my video, and you will be able to see it on me. But I'm going to be wearing this so much. Oh my, oh my. Okay, excuse that barking. My kids have now gone out to play with the puppies instead of them standing there barking at a bird. So I can get this video done without all that noise. Yes, so where was I up to? Oh my goodness. I knit my first Birkin and it fitted perfectly. Now, yes, I did not swatch for this one. I used a completely different yarn. And the yoke came out so much bigger than my first one. So I did do a little bit of sewing, wouldn't call it surgery, but fixing. And you can sort of see it a bit under the arm. You can't see it when I'm wearing it. I've done it with another sweater of mine previously. But what I've done is when I came to doing the sleeves, so this is when I've completed the body and then I came to doing the sleeves, I knit up a bit, up the work. So I've knitted up here, gone back and forth and picked up stitches in the sleeve stitches that I've kept on hold. Does that make sense? So I've picked up, so I've knit across, picked up one extra stitch, and I might have decreased as well, but I didn't take note of what I did. What I did do is do exactly the same for either side. So, so that's good. I didn't have a thing like with this Ranunculus sweater where I've done the sleeves two different ways. But yes, I did a little bit of knitting up to sort of bring that yoke up a little bit. And yeah, as I said, I've done it before and it works, but it's not ideal. But I wanted this sweater to be absolutely perfect. It is not cheap yarn. This is not, it's not a cheap sweater to knit, although I did purchase too much yarn. I thought I was going to use, like I got two colours. I got only one ball of the blue, but I got two of everything else and I only used one. So I'm actually going to make a hat. So I believe there is a pattern that Caitlin Hunter has, which is the Birkin beanie. I believe so. Well, there's something else with the Birkin pattern in it. What I was going to do was make a beanie and try and replicate these. I have a little bit of the blue left. Probably not enough for a beanie, for a whole row of flowers, but maybe. Either way, yeah, I was going to use the rest for a beanie or two beanies perhaps, because I've got lots of the colour left over. So I'll be looking into what to knit with these, whether it is a Birkin beanie or whether I knit something completely different in colour work. I will be using those colours together again because these colours are just, they are just beautiful together. I'm so very pleased with these colours. And I got the yarn from the Pearl Box. I will pop that down below, but they have all of the colours. They also have Jamison yarns, which are also like a beautiful yarn similar to this. The colours aren't, these colours are just, oh my goodness. The Marie Woollen colours are just perfect. I love them so much. I'd actually run out of the raw colour, so the main colour, and I had to get some balls of yarn that were in a different dye lot, and I've just done the rib in the different dye lot. So I don't know if you can see a difference. I really can't see a difference. I mean, because it's a rib and because this is knit, you know, you probably can't see much of a difference because of the pattern, you know, the texture change. And the texture change itself brings sort of a different shadowing to the yarn. So you probably can't tell. I really have to put this back on the blocking mats because I can see that it's sort of unblocking. Yeah, I need to get that back on the mats. So I will do that and hopefully put it in the sun today and it will dry, and then I'll get some footage that you probably would have already seen now. So yes, that is my second sweater that I have finished, and that one has been on the needles since June 2022. I have some notes here. Let's see if there's anything else I have not mentioned. Yeah, no, I've pretty much mentioned everything. I love it. I tried it on, and I do have a photo which I can put up, but if I have put them up, I've tried it on when I finished just one sleeve, but of course I hadn't blocked it as well, so it'll be really interesting to see how it looks being blocked. And I'm just going to be wearing it all the time. It is just so special. I have this blue dress that's in that similar blue colour of the middle, and it's just going to look really lovely with that blue dress. It's going to look lovely with everything. I'm going to be wearing it with everything, but that blue dress in particular. Oh, it's just so perfect. I almost want to like cast on another one in exactly the same colours so that I can have two, and I know that like I'm always going to have, I could have a spare just in case something happens to this one. And I can fix all the problems as well. I might just do that. Okay, so my last project and my third sweater that I've finished is in this basket here. Let me just move some things around. I'm currently in my very, I don't want to say messy studio. Things have gotten a bit out of control in here because I've got so many projects on the go and so many orders that I'm fulfilling. It's just, hopefully by the end of this week, I will have finished everything and I can have a clean slate. But I have this mending workshop coming up on Saturday, which I'm really excited about. So it's going to be in Castlemaine, and it's going to be one of the two that I'm holding this year. So I'm holding another one in August. And so I'm putting together everything for the workshop as well. And it's just, yeah, the place is a little bit crazy. So I'm trying to find some space to put everything so I can just podcast, because I know if I leave podcasting any longer, I'm going to forget all the details about all the projects that I've just finished. And excitingly, I finished this one last night. I cast off the second sleeve. This is my Felix Pullover, my scrap Felix Pullover. So I have used loads of tiny little scraps to complete this sweater, and I'm so very, very happy with this sweater. I'm going to pop in some photos of when I wore it with just one sleeve finished. And I did run out of yarn, so I'm going to do a little video. It will come up soon, but I'm going to do a little video on how I do my scrap sweaters, because I've done these in the past and I just wanted to show everyone how I do the fade, how I match the, you know, sleeves, and, you know, both the sleeves are pretty much identical. So, and then when we get down here, I ran out of yarn. So I had luckily went around to beautiful Pammy's new studio, Pammy from Zigo Zago, and she gave me a little bit of scraps of this yarn here she had, and another yarn as well, which had the sort of purpley shade, and so I got to finish off. So this is the first sleeve and this is the second one, using some of Pammy's yarn there, some of her scraps. So it's not only got my scraps in it, it's got some of Pammy's scraps in it too. So I'm thoroughly happy with this sweater, and I can see that it's going to be shared between myself and my daughter because she loves it too. So I am going to cast on another scrap sweater, and I'm going to do a video, and it's probably going to, you know, it's going to take a little bit of time because I'm going to do the video and knit a bit, and then do more of the video, knit a bit more, just to show the progression of using scraps and how I use them and how I troubleshoot parts, and yeah, so watch out for that video. But it'll be a blue fade with the next one because I've got lots of these blues, so I'm really happy to have this off the needles. But then now I don't have a project. Now I don't have that, you know, simple project I can just sit and do, and I need to cast on. Of course, I can't really tell you the scraps that I've used in this because a lot of them were just long-standing, tiny, incy-bincy little balls that I'd had in my studio for a long time. I did end up using 3 little mini skeins from my Natural Fibre Arts Advent in this part here. So I've used some of that, which I wasn't expecting to use, but I just literally run out of pinks and sort of pinks in this fade, in this or sort of beige light pinks. I'd run out of them. So yeah, I needed to source some of my yarn elsewhere in my studio rather than just using scraps and leftovers. But I'm thoroughly happy with this sweater, and I'm gonna sew in the ends and block it and get it dry in this beautiful sun that we're having today. It's just getting even more lovelier out there as the day progresses. I'm sitting here, it is not 9:15. I wanted to get this in straight away so I could get into my work and get that stuff done. So, well, what's next, you say? Well, I am on a bit of a finish what I've got on the needles kick. So I'm hoping that I will work on my dress. I'm gonna go and grab it. Now my beautiful dress is in this project bag by, who's it by? Moss Made. And it's got cats. A lot of them are cleaning themselves. It's very cute. So I keep long-standing whips in bags, but I tend to keep all of my current whips that I'm working on in a basket. So this is my current favorite basket, and I've got all these skeins that I've just wound at Pammy's because I don't have a ball winder. So I've wound all of these skeins yesterday and they are ready to go. Let's show you my dress. So I am currently on the top part of the dress. I have completed the skirt. I'll show you. It has been in here for quite some time, and I'm gonna stand up because I need to put this back on the needles because, as you can see, it is too big. I need to decrease a little bit more, but I'm trying to finish the top first and then I can match up how much I need to decrease. Would be nice to put it on the needles though, but I do need it to be in this. I do need it to be like this so that I can measure it properly. So I won't put it on the needles yet. There's a bit of hair on it. All right, let's see the actual houses. All right, this is the house dressing pattern and I can't wait to wear this. So my hope is that I will be wearing this at the Bendigo Wool and Sheep show this year in June. Fingers crossed. So I need to work on it. I haven't split for the sleeves and the body yet on the top. So that's my aim, is to get there. It is not really easy to show you the top part. But basically this is the neck, and the neck it drapes. So it's sort of like a little bit off the shoulder, drapes down, sort of hangs a bit. And my concern is that this is going to be too big, like this skirt is too big. So I really want to get to the split sleeve part so I can try it on. I feel like I almost need to block it on the needles so that I can try it on properly and know how it's going to fit. I didn't swatch for this, right? But hear me out. I've knit so many sweaters in this yarn. This is Bendigo Woollen Mills 5-ply classic yarn. And I've knit so many sweaters using the same needles that I'm using for this. So they are my swatch. Those sweaters are my swatch. And I worked out that I needed to do the largest size. The pattern calls for 4-ply. I used 5-ply. The pattern is not inclusive of size. It is very much just in the smaller sized categories. So I calculated it and it was fine. But now I'm thinking it's turning out bigger. But what I want to do is just finish it. If it's a little bit, like if it's roomier, then I don't need it to be skin tight like the pattern is. I will put a picture of the pattern up on the screen. I just want it to be comfortable. If it is a bit roomy, that's fine. I mean, I'm going to be wearing a dress underneath it anyway. So yeah, I'm hoping to work on this and get it done and not be so tempted to cast on everything else. Having said that, I am going to cast on one thing that I have in mind. So I shall go and grab that now and show you. Okay, while I went to go and get that yarn, my hairband has broken. There is another colour that I am missing for this project. Okay, so I took a photo of the colours I was going to use for this project. But it's on my old phone and it needs to be charged to be able to find the photo I took. Anyhow, going along with wanting to use yarn out of my stash, I want to knit the Into the Wild sweater. I will put a picture up of it on the screen. This is one of the items, one of the patterns I wanted to knit this year. So it's one of those things on my list I really, really want. And ideally, I wanted to knit the main color. I wanted to knit out of this beautiful mosaic rustic yarn. It's called Mosaic by Bendigo Woollen Mills. Yeah, but they don't have it. Of course, it's always a limited edition, and I only bought 3 skeins of it, or 3 balls, and I used 1 and a bit for Samuel's vest that I've finished knitting. I'm not showing it to you today because we're still looking for buttons for that vest, and when I've sourced the buttons I will show it here as a finished project, but currently it's unfinished because it just doesn't have buttons. All it needs is buttons. I haven't blocked it either, so I should probably block it. So I was going to use, I think it's these colours. I believe so, but then I thought maybe there was another colour where the foxes are that's a brown. I'm not sure. So I definitely wanted to use the rest of this cream. Although it's a different yarn, it is alpaca and the rest is wool. So I might not use this. I might locate, I have got another cream somewhere, and even if it's 4-ply fingering, I might hold it double to make a DK, and then that will be fine for this pattern, hopefully. But the yarn that I purchased at Bendigo Woollen Mills is in this bag, and it's not quite the brown that I was wanting to go for. As I said, I would have loved to have made it out of this brown, but I found this brown and it's not, you know, it's not quite the brown I wanted to go for. I really struggle with the colours at Bendigo Woollen Mills, and I'd really like to find another affordable place to purchase yarn that has better colours. Recently they've changed a few of their colours, and I kind of wish I was like a colour consultant for them, because I saw this happening. They got rid of this beautiful green in their cotton collection, and then they brought in this hideous bright green. I was like, oh my gosh, where's a natural green? Where's a Christmas green? Where's a, you know, like, you have none of that in your cotton selection. You've gotten rid of this beautiful green and then you've replaced it with this awful green. Anyway, what have they done? They've gotten rid of that awful green because it probably didn't sell. And they've brought in this nicer green. It's not the same as the one they had previously, which apparently I was talking to the lady at the counter there when I went recently, and she said that a lot of people were really, really upset about that decision to get rid of that green. I don't understand why you'd get rid of a colour that's so popular. Anyhow, I purchased one of the balls of this new green. When I look at it here, yeah, it's not a green. I don't know. Anyway, this is the green. It's sort of a bit, I don't know, brighter in this light anyway than I felt like in the store. But it's so much better than what they had. This one's called Canopy. And yeah, so I've brought that one to have a go with my dishcloths. So that green, that beautiful green that they had, years ago, I went in and I quickly purchased as many of the rest of that colour as I could, and now I'm only just running out of it, so I'm hoping that that one can replace that green. Anyhow, I got this brown. Their chocolate brown colour that they have in, I think it's in the classic, or maybe it's in the, I think it is in the classic yarn. They have this chocolate brown colour and it is purple. It is a purple brown. Anyway, I like this brown. This is a brown. Yeah, it's pretty close to what I wanted. This one just has like flecks of stuff through it, makes it more interesting. Anyhow, I want to cast this on. I'm yabbering on here, sorry, about colours, but if I had a lot of money, I would always purchase yarn like this. But, you know, I love knitting and I probably knit faster than I wish I did because things get finished so quick. Maybe if I knitted slower, I would just purchase the more expensive yarn and get the most beautiful colours, but we can't all afford the expensive yarn. And so I fall back to Bendigo Woollen Mills. If anyone knows anywhere else that has affordable yarn that is natural fibres, not acrylic, I'm really hesitant to buy yarn from places like Spotlight and Lincraft. But having said that, I'm sure they have 100% natural. I'm just sticking my fingers in balls. Sorry, making myself crack up. Yeah, I'm sure they have natural colours, and I did sort of semi-pass when I was at Spotlight. I semi-passed the yarn. I just don't know about the quality. I know that Bendigo Woollen Mills make pretty nice quality yarn. It lasts a long time, especially for my kids. Like, it's pretty great, hey? It's good, but they really need assistance in their colours. Next time this comes out, I swear I'm going to buy like 20 balls of it. I do hope that they release this again. So they release limited editions in wintertime. And man, I'm going to be there at the store buying every little bit I can. The problem is going in the store at the moment too is they don't have as much on the shelves as like they have on their website. Oh, I've run out of tea. Don't you just hate that when, oops, don't you just hate that when you run out of tea? I've just clattered this off my bottles. I'm going to go on a tangent here and show you my a bottle of tomatoes. Yes, I have bottles of tomatoes in my studio because I was just chatting to my patrons about the tomato bottling I've been doing. Back to yarn. Lost my train of thought now. Anyhow, really want to knit this sweater. I will sort out the colours because I'm pretty sure this is not the selection I had in mind. For some reason, these two colours were together and that's just me thinking that that is what I chose, but maybe I did, and maybe now I've changed my mind. I definitely want to find a different yarn to that one to use in it, and I do have, yeah, as I said, I do have some creams and yeah, this yarn here. At least I've got the yarn now. I can purchase the pattern and I can cast it on. So that is one of my plans for casting on. Okay, I have got another project I want to cast on, or two projects, the Radish mitts and the Rad Radish mitts and the Rad Radish socks. I have, oh my goodness. I just realized I was going to take this around to Pammy's and wind it up. With all those other balls. So I've hand wound all the other colours for these mitts and socks. Let me get it out of this fun bag that my friend Annie made me. All right, so these are the colours, along with this beautiful green. So I'm just going to hand wind this. I'm going to get it done today. But yeah, I've got these balls all ready to go. So I kind of want to cast these socks and mitts on very soon, so they're on the go. So I've got that in this bag waiting. So all the way back at the very beginning, when I first started my podcast, my plan was to get my projects down from 20 something or rather whips down to, well, as low as I could go. And I got down to about 5. Anyway, I got my projects down hugely, and it's just been more of a motivation doing this podcast for me to finish things and not have so many things looming over me, because I do get overwhelmed by the amount of whips that I have. I also get overwhelmed by the amount of yarn that I have. So yeah, doing these scrap projects has been a lot of fun, and to use up scrap as well, because I don't want to just throw away tiny little balls. I want to use everything. So doing this scrap sweater has been delightful. I've done 2 exactly the same previously. And yes, as I said, I've got enough, I think, to do another sweater. Keeping on top of the projects and not having so many on the go really makes me feel a bit freer. A bit freer to get inspired as well, and be able to cast on those inspiring projects, like all these ones I have in my queue that have been in my queue for so very, very long. I really would just like to cast them on, but then I feel this thing of having so many projects, it just stops me from casting on new stuff when I get to a certain point of having a lot of projects on the go. So my plan is to cast on a couple of things, but keeping on top of these current projects that I have. Thank you so much, my friends, for sitting with me and listening to me yak on about all my projects. I hope you enjoyed seeing my finished items, and wow, didn't I finish a lot? Oh my goodness, so much. I'm so very pleased to have these items in my wardrobe now. It's just really exciting. I'm going to fix up this fault that I've done in the sleeve of my Ranunculus sweater, and I'm going to finish off blocking the Birkin. I cannot wait to wear it. I've already said that about 1 billion times during this episode, but it is true. I will be wearing it in the next episode. You bet I will. Take care, my friends, and I shall see you next time. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye.